We generated around 560 plus million impressions organically. There was
creating property cards for the first time for people owning houses in the rural areas.
We have a patent on a bits technology, which...
But we were really guided by what we wanted it to be.
In terms of the content consumption pattern has changed.
Very competitive, very strong.
The objective is basically to democratize cancer care.
I see a very bright future for retail industry.
Technology now allows us to scale up.
We also want to help patients become more compliant.
If I look at the custom solutions market, it's almost about $1,500 billion.
Your customers will not continue to be with you if you don't change gear.
We had adopted digitalization much earlier.
within a very short span of time, we are the number one operator in whole of South India.
If you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
We got those two brands and then immediately got into a few of the LFRs, and there was no looking back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 46th episode of Ascent Talks. My name is Ajit and I've been an Ascent member for over 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And on the 46th episode, as usual, my co-host is Aleem. How are you doing, buddy?
Great, Ajit. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aleem Merchant, and I run an advertising agency called Synapse. And every time Ajit says the new number episode, it always gets more exciting. Oh my God, can't believe we've done 45, 46 now. So just 4 episodes away from 50. Ajit, what is Ascent?
Yeah, so for even after 46 episode, if there is somebody new who's actually, there are a lot of new people. Our analytics keep showing that there are a lot of new people who log into our show. So for all those new people who are joining us today, Ascent is a non-profit organization that helps entrepreneurs grow their business. It was founded by Harsh Mariwala in 2012, Chairman Marico Limited, and which has helped over 850 entrepreneurs. Ascent's key features is as trust groups where entrepreneurs can share experiences and ideas. Ascent Talks is hosted weekly to showcase the journeys of its members. So, Aleem, let's bring in our guest today.
It's not just a guest, he's also a friend and my trust group member. So I'm very, very happy to welcome Rahul today. Rahul Hingmire is the co-founder and managing director of Vis Legis Law Practice. It's a law firm established in 2017. Vis Legal offers a wide array of legal services focused primarily on commercial transactions. They assist both individual clients and corporations, allowing them to concentrate on their businesses while they handle all their legal concerns. They have a dedicated team of over 25 attorneys working across 4 major cities: Mumbai, New Delhi, Pune, and Hyderabad. They serve a diverse range of sectors from agro commodities and real estate to healthcare, banking, media, among others. Their legal solutions encompass corporate transactions, litigation support, mergers, acquisitions, as well as specialized advice in areas like company laws, security laws, insolvency, and intellectual property rights. I think I should get a BA LLB for saying this entire intro for sure. Welcome, Rahul, to the show.
Thank you, Aleem. Thank you, Ajit, for having me, and thank you for such an exciting introduction, Aleem. Thank you.
Great. Rahul, why don't you start off by telling us about Vis Legis Law and your journey as an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. So, Vis Legis Law Practice, we often get to have this question: what is Vis Legis? So, Vis Legis is strength of law. It's a Latin proverb, strength of law. So, with that intent, we decided to start a law firm to provide that required strength and support and power to our clients to deal with the situations where legal angle is involved. We started in 2017, as you said, with my 2 co-founders and very dear friends who we learned together. And we imagined this thing in 2011-12, we were working with another firm. And we could start this in 2017. And today, in last 6 years, we managed to, get a lot of support and blessings from our clients across country. That's why we could, establish our offices in New Delhi, Pune, and Hyderabad as well. Approach has been always to provide solutions rather than legal gyan. There are situations where we could avoid going to court. There are situations where we could avoid getting into complicated transaction by just simplifying things for our clients, and that has kept us relevant in the space. And that's the approach with which we are growing. Started as a pretty much litigation firm. Litigation in the sense we just handle court work for our clients, be it civil court, company courts, arbitrations. But period like lockdown sort of thing happened to us in first 3-4 years of our journey, and that kind of gave us much needed lessons that you need to have not just one vertical. You got to have some sort of points where you can pivot, you can add new offerings which can keep you in the picture in the larger things. And that's where we could establish our transactions rated practice, our expertise for startups, and also encouraging other experts to join us across India. That's how during peak lockdown we could start our Hyderabad office with a partner joining in with the experience of banking industry, and that has been the learning, and that has been a journey, and that's how we have started, and that's all what's happening with us so far.
Wow. So, I believe Rahul is saying that during lockdown, I was expanding. I have another lawyer friend of mine whom I was talking to. Yeah, how was COVID? He says, too good, yeah. It's too good. I said, why? What happened? Business is doing very well. Divorce rates are on the high. They all need me, man. Now this also brings us to a question. Everyone tends to misunderstand what to expect from a lawyer in terms of, there are different processes, criminal issues that you might have corporate, you might have company law. So tell us, what are the different fields, when it comes to the legal space? If I need some help, how should I actually go about looking? Who should I be looking for? From what I've spoken to you, you said, it's not about just looking for a lawyer.
Yes. Very, very apt question, because a lot of time what happens is, as awareness, unless until you find yourself into legal problem, you will not have the clarity as to how to deal with these things. Similar situations are seen when, unless until we encounter medical problem, we don't know which doctor is expert in which field.
Correct.
As we know, there are specific organs, specific treatments pertaining doctors are there. Similarly, for lawyers also now, expertise are required. There are businesses related problems. For that, you have corporate lawyer like ourselves. You can have securities lawyer. You can have tax lawyers assisting you. Then there are real estates. Then there are media entertainment related offerings. For that, you have dedicated lawyers who are bringing expertise and latest updates and knowledge and strategies which can solve your problem. Then there are civil and human rights lawyers also. There are criminal lawyers also who are bringing cyber crimes or blue collar crime related matters. So there is, if I had to list it out, there can be more than 50 types of expertise a lawyer can bring in, and if possible, try to assess and understand for your legal problem what kind of lawyer is required actually first, and ask that lawyer what is the largest offering that you do. And if a lawyer says 60-70% of the cases I handle of this nature, then he's the best lawyer for you to go for. That's how one should be approaching to their legal problem, by going to an apt lawyer.
And Rahul, tell me one thing. I mean, as entrepreneurs or even as human beings, we always get scared to, that court case nahi, kind of thing. I mean, usse hi fatte hai. So tell me something. How has Vis Legis Law changed that? I mean, what are the changes you have brought about after you founded your company?
So, as I said, clients are stressed. As you rightly pointed out, we do get stressed. It just, if you kind of take your clients through the entire journey as to how the client should be, dealing this problem, what client should expect, the in between process to the end point, what is the likelihood of cost, what is the likelihood of energy levels, what is the likelihood of information client has to bring in from time to time in the entire journey, client gets to understand and have a clear picture as to what he or she is going to deal with. Sometimes we as lawyers, I'll take that responsibility on me also, we tend to think that my client may not process this kind of information, so we'll not rather share it in detail, or my client will take information from me and might as well go to some other lawyer who may help him in implementing that strategy. That's the reason sometimes we try to not share entire thing, and that sort of situation leaves client in limbo, or they don't have clarity. So they are stressed, because nowadays, unless until you clarify everything, a client to take a decision is like blindly trusting you or flying in dark, and that is the stressful scenario. Even if I have to go to a doctor, and if doctor doesn't tell me where you're going to land up, when you're going to be operated, and when are you going to move to ICU, to general ward, to home, I'll be not clear. So I'll go to second, third, fourth, fifth doctor, unless until I get to imagine the entire journey for that process and treatment. That is one of the reasons. And at a times, lawyers are doing one bit of things, but in court cases, the determining factor is the judge. So certain things are there in our hands as lawyers to work on the case and present it to the court in the best possible manner. But ultimately, we are also just lawyers. We are not astrologers, or we are not the expert to say what judge is going to do absolutely clear, and within how much time frame judge is going to deliver that adjudication or those orders. So that brings some sort of uncertainty in the entire situation. Only that much aspect client has to process and understand. If these two things are done properly, I think clients and lawyers can definitely address the stress part, the uncertainty part, and then client can take more informed decisions to go with.
Very interesting. Rahul, you also mentioned about, you started as a small entrepreneur, actually doing small court cases. Then you went on to actually open branches. Now, I have two questions around this whole thing. How did you actually go about, uh, scaling up your business? What are the big challenges that you had? What are the big opportunities that you faced? Tell us a little about that journey of how you did it. And along with this comes another question: is you're a knowledge company, right? The legal practice is all about knowledge. In this whole expansion plan, how do you actually retain good talent? What is the mechanisms that your industry adopt to actually make sure that the best of talent continues to remain and be associated with you? How do you actually go about doing this?
Okay. First questions. First question is growth part and expansion, right? How it started. So our team of co-founders and our management or senior attorneys team, we always do our internal discussions to see to it that what other law firms are doing in India or in some important locations like Singapore, UK, US, what kind of growth trajectory they are having. And whatever is possible, we try to learn what can be implemented in India, specifically for our firm, law firm, fraternity, and legal profession. And we always have planned and have a vision to be there in not only just 4 or 5, but in 50 cities across India. It's just part one of phase one that we have completed. We want to be going into all tier 2, tier 3 cities to make sure that the structured offering of a law firm, where client is not dependent on only one person, but on an organization's ability to handle his case is offered. If CA firms can go into multiple cities and can assist the requirements of clients, then why law firm can't do this? And it is possible. It just we need to spend some time with the city-based business owner, city-based clientele, take some assignments to assess and understand what is the mindset of the local population, what is the role that they expect their lawyers to play, and what is the major industry driving factors in that location. So these key points gives us clarity as to whether it's right time for us to move into that city or not. And lawyers wise, there is tremendous talent available in the industry. That takes me to the second question also partly. We get good support, we get good active participation from local associate lawyers from various cities. They are very supportive, and the lawyer legal fraternity is, in terms of helping each others to set up business in their city, is very supportive in nature. We all see collaboration as a great opportunity for that. We don't see competition coming to our city. We try to bring and use each other's expertise. As I said, 40-50 offerings in terms of expertise. So it's always to have a great resources that is it's coming in. And the talent retention part is also critical. Like IT industry, like healthcare industry, legal services as a sector also experiences the retention challenges. we need to just understand that the expectations of the team members who are working needs to be understood well, and genuine effort should be given to solve them. If we do that, you will definitely have 60 to 70% retention. Our law firm has also experienced the problems. It's not that we are very foolproof strategies to dodge this problem. We have also gone through it, but we are learning from it. We have learned few lessons in hard ways. We have learned few lessons in a good way as to good strategy and outcomes being applied to it. But the important thing what we try to keep in mind is, as knowledge offering organization, our major thing is to do with brain and our ability of thinking calmly and peacefully. If we can give that environment to our team members to think independently, freely, without having much of fear of consequences, slowly but surely they'll get to a point where they can manage and handle a lot of stressful scenarios and pressure situations before court in transaction for our clients. So we have that belief. With that belief, we hand over the responsibilities to our attorneys, and that allows them to get more confidence. And if these sort of things are offered to your team members, I think they'll have very less reasons to move to different organizations. So that's the offering, that's the objective with which we go, and we hope for always better output for that. And in case still anyone is moving or anyone gets picked up, we have always seen that the ex-employees or ex-colleagues of our firm were picked up by big firms. So that's a validation for us that we are ensuring that our talent is getting nurtured in a way where top law firms are getting these clients, getting these attorneys from our firm. That certifies that we are definitely doing something good. That's why the big firms are picking them.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It's amazing how he said it. 60 to 70% retention, not 30% attrition. 60 to 70% retention is possible, and that's a nice positive way of looking at it. I really, we always keep talking attrition, but you're saying no. Let's talk about the actual retention. Amazing, yeah.
Great way to be optimistic. Rahul, you're also very active on social media, and you're also trying to build your own personal brand. And we've seen some of your articles, and you've written an article on F1 and how the relationship between legality or law practice, being an entrepreneur, and the entire F1 scenes. What is your analysis of that?
So Aleem, firstly, I need to clarify. When I write about F1, I am not the driver. I am not the lead person there. My client is the driver. We are all the support staff there. We are all strategists, and our driver is the one who has to take us through the winning line that way, right? So we are ensuring that we bring everything for our client. Our team members play critical role of having everything in place, right from the strategy to well-drafted documents to ensuring all the necessary things are taken into consideration. Same goes for F1 also. All the mechanics, all the engineers, all the experts on weather forecast, to the track, to the past record, to what the venue has to offer as a challenges to the racing team. All those things, I find tremendous amount of similarities between racing and our profession. That is, and ultimately, very minor things make huge difference in F1 racing as well as in courts today, because some law point, if it's not argued effectively and properly in a given time frame, it can lead to delay. And today, delay means not having a good outcome for the matter, because time is the essence of everything. So that ways we are all on the toes to go about ensuring that everything is handled effectively. And F1 racing is more or less about managing things in a very time-bound manner. There we are dealing with microseconds pertaining, competition. But if you see number of cases in India, there also we are dealing with huge, number challenges. But here we have to keep that in mind that if we don't start and finish our things in time-bound manner, there is large consequence client is going to experience, and that's where our racer needs to be delivered what racer expects in terms of efficient engine and good car to drive and take us through the winning flag.
Nice, amazing, man.
Only court cases moved as fast as the car moved from the pit stop. Yeah.
Now you know the root cause of why we don't want to get into the courts, right?
I just like to clarify, we get to hear cases which are stuck for very long period of time, but there are cases which are disposed also by courts very shortly and quickly. in a very positive way. We have handled cases in arbitration where we have finished in 8 weeks. The entire start to end cases. It's just intention of the party should be there to actually submit to the timelines which court is giving. Trust me, more than 50 to 60% of the cases will get resolved. And another thing, in India, the biggest litigator is government. So if you file something against government, government is not going to leave it till Supreme Court. So if some policies are changed to make sure that liberties are given to the authorities who are decision makers in departments, probably we can reduce significant amount of litigation. That was the private litigation or genuine litigations which are requiring adjudication can move much faster, and we'll all have F1 race timings sort of records getting set for disposal of cases also very soon.
Yeah, but the challenge that comes in a democratic.
मंत्री बनेगा ये एक दिन.
No, but actually, what he said is absolutely right. But the challenge most of these authorities who are the bureaucrats keep talking about is, I can take that decision, but how does it safeguard me from the next regime or 10 years from there, where you go backtrack and you actually pull me up for a decision that I took, which might seem irrelevant today because over a decade it's changed, and you suddenly find it's flawed. So that's been a big challenge. So let's move a little away from that, Rahul. Rahul, I want to know, you've been very active in the startup ecosystem, and you've actually actively invested. You've been helping a lot of companies. Tell us, how did that happen, and what's been the journey like being in the startup ecosystem?
Startup ecosystem, I actually need to share this bit because lockdown happened. Before lockdown, our firm was majorly litigation, that is court dispute driven firm. We were doing majorly litigation practice. And in lockdown, like many other things, courts also, shut down for first few months, and then they started working, but it was on a virtual platform, like how we are doing this interaction. Like we used to appear, and sometimes we get to appear before judges like this. That gave us a lot of free time to think about doing other things, not necessarily work wise, because anyways doing online work is also tiring at the same time. So there was some free time to explore other things, and I have some fantastic friends. They introduced me to some of the exciting opportunity of startup investments in a very structured manner. So I went on to understand few things, and I explored opportunities where I could understand the impact of the solutions which the startup was providing. So without naming the companies, if someone is bringing a very critical solution for pensions for non-government employees, or someone like a taxi driver or rickshaw driver doesn't know how to start and generate some income and park it in a pension which will come to him after 60, 70, I feel that is an incredible solution. And if that can be applied to a platform which can be given to an entire country as a product, which is happening in some other part of the world, I definitely wanted to be part of that journey. As a lawyer also, I see a situation where a lot of people have genuine good cases but don't have means to support it. And if any startup is bringing solution to bring some sort of financial support to them to take that case further and get it sorted for them, then definitely I want to be part of that sort of offering also in any way, in any capacity possible. So like that, I've came across some impactful startups who are bringing some very game-changing solutions to various industries, bringing rural area to closer to mainstream locations. I'll definitely see great opportunity. And apart from all these things, as a lawyer, if I get to see startup founders working on such critical issues, and if I get to see that very closely, it's a tremendous amount of learning for me to be able to spend time with the decision makers, thought leaders of them, and those who could see this entire future for them to start such businesses. If I get to spend even few hours with them, that's a lifetime lesson for me, for that industry, for that kind of product they are offering. And that is something cannot be measured in the times of fee structure or remuneration or anything. So working with few startups founders, even from Ascent, has been a game changer for me. Ascent has also been very encouraging for various startups. I remember attending one conclave before COVID, and there couple of founders were given opportunity to present their impact journey through platform. So from there, it has sort of made a great impact on my mind as to money or offering is not necessarily the only outcome you should be looking at. Learnings is something next level gain you can do, and with that learning I can pitch to 10 MNCs and create an impactful presentation to get their work if
Wow.
required. So that is there are 2-3 reasons why I want to be associated with startup system.
Fabulous. Rahul, tell us, my most exciting question of today is, how has been your Ascent journey? And tell us about your amazing group that you are part of.
Definitely. I think Ascent has been the blessing which any entrepreneur can ask for, from day 0 to day 50 to day 500 to day 5,000. Uh, uh, if you have someone like your trust group members guiding you without having biases, without having any conflict of interest, without having any agenda driven activity, if they can correct you before you make mistakes, that is the best thing one can ask for. And you don't get these kind of advices, unfortunately. Fortunately, even professionals sometimes are having their own agendas behind giving you guidance directly, indirectly. You can see it or you cannot see it. But this trust group offering and plus the entire platform of Ascent has helped me to definitely grow into a better entrepreneur, service provider. Help me to understand what goes behind the clients businesses. I as a lawyer, or we as lawyers, get to see only problematic scenario which the client brings to us. But this setup allows us to understand what all things go back in the background for that client to actually get to a point where he can attract litigation also. There are a lot of things that he has to do positively first to get to a point of business journey, setting up so many things which involves tremendous amount of risk. And unfortunately, if they are caught up in litigation when they come to us, or they are caught up in some legal issue when they come to us, we see a very narrow angle and very limited aspect of their situation, which is not a very apt thing to judge the entire situation or industry or their company say. So Ascent has given me that wide lens to look at. My trust group members, including Aleem, have been great mentors, and they are the source, and they are also bringing a lot of resources on table to share their experiences, and those experiences are game changers for us. I mentioned earlier also that missing 1 month's Ascent meeting is like missing some critical lessons which I should not be missing at all, because every meeting, every outbound we do with our team members, every common activity we do, even if 4 to 5 of us are meeting sometimes somewhere, that changes the tone for the rest of the week, rest of the month, and we end up learning a lot of things. And the co-learning bit is very impactful. I learned very recently. Uh, if you remember, if your most number of the best friends are from colleges and schools, because you learned with them, and the co-learning creates a different bond altogether. And in Ascent, we are doing that, and that's why, without we being each other's relative, without we being from similar industry, without there is any other reason, just because we are co-learning, so we are bonded at a different level altogether. So the
Amazing.
co-learning process is a game changer for me, and thanks to Mr. Mariwala and Ascent Foundation and my incredible trust group members.
That's too good, man, Rahul. Okay, Rahul, we've got just about 2 minutes, and I just don't want to let you go till I take some controversial question here, and we would like you to break your head on this. Okay, so
Okay.
so we're not. So this has got to do with a legal opinion, all right?
Okay.
Now, there is this huge current affairs controversy going on between India and Bharat. We're going to rename the country, whether it happens or not happens. That's another one. So we're not going to get into the emotions around this. And as entrepreneurs, we're going to keep those emotions out and look at it very pragmatically. My question is it constitutionally possible? And if it's possible, how is it possible? Forget about whether it happens or no, the politics, right, wrong, that's not a concern. Is that possible?
Answer is slightly different. Possible. It is already done. It's already there. We are having a constitution which indicates that there are two names given to our country. If you read English version, it starts with India, that is Bharat. If you pick up any regional version of constitution, which is just available, just put Google India Constitution languages, you will get access to all vernacular or regional languages version of Indian Constitution. If you open Hindi, it starts with Bharat Arthat India.
Okay.
So it's already there. It's just matter of preference, and I am yet to see that that has been proposed as a process. But if at all some sort of change, suppose we have to go through a third name altogether, let's not stick to Bharat or India. What is the process? Then one has to take it as a proposal to one of the houses, either Parliament or Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Majority vote needs to be considered to discuss and approve that bill to bring such third name, and that needs to be with majority of vote, with two-third majority needs to be given to President of India or the country for his assent or her assent. If that assent is obtained, then there has to be a notification to go about introducing this aspect. So there is a process given. We have seen that process being adopted not just for name change, but any modification in the constitution. That is possible. If you want to modify constitution, it is possible. And changing name is nothing but changing some part of constitution. So that is there. But interestingly, Bharat, and I know as an entrepreneur, we should not be emotionally getting, but as an entrepreneur, we are super emotional also about many things. So here, I just want to clarify that the use of Bharat has been widely done everywhere. Not that I'm in support or against of it, but it is matter of choice. There are certain things about our India as a country, our culture, can be aptly described with the word Bharat, and there are representations on international platforms can be done with use of India. That's where we get to see our foreign minister using India as a regular term while discussing problems or initiatives or growth pertaining stories in the context of India. But I have interesting sharing on this. If you see all super hit movies, which has Bharat being said 100 times, like Swadesh, like Gadar, like Lagan, like Kesari. I think we all have Bharat India, both angles captured in every essence of it. So I think, be it government decisions, be it books, be it movies, we have used Bharat or India as per our convenience, and I think that will continue to happen unless there is a clear proposal and bill proposed to change the name or eliminate one of the options given already in the constitution. That's how I
Amazing.
look at
All right. Superb, Rahul. Thank you so much for that. We wanted to make that a little more interesting with some current affairs, yeah. And we know we couldn't think of a better person than asking you. But buddy, we've almost way past our 30 minutes. It's been fantastic listening to you, Rahul. Thank you so much for
it.
actually sharing those inputs. To all our viewers, 30 minutes. He will send you a long bill, a big fat bill. He's a lawyer by profession. He gets paid by the time, but we've got 30 minutes of his free. So thank you very much, Rahul. It's been a pleasure to have you with us.
Pleasure,
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you, Rahul.
Pleasure is
Thank
mine.
you.
Thank
See
you,
you soon.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. So we are done with our 46th episode. And if we have entrepreneurs here who would like to share these videos, we've got about 46 stories. Now, feel free to share it. It's a great conversation starter. But if you are a growth ready entrepreneur, get onto ascentfoundation.in and make an application. The Ascent team is going to get in touch with you and they're going to evaluate you, have a discussion with you. And if you actually are truly growth ready, we'll be happy to have you as part of our cohort. So that brings us to the end of the 46th episode. We're going to see you next Friday, 11 o'clock, with another equally interesting story. Thank you very much. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye.